A very good morning to all of you. My name is Rahul Negi. I am an assistant professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering in Tulaj Institute, Dehradun. Today we will discuss about the basics of electrical engineering. So, today's content we have to cover series circuit, parallel circuit, voltage division rule, current division rule, voltage source transformation, current source transformations, and at last numerical analysis. So these are the topic which we have to cover in these slides. So we start. First of all, what is a series circuit? When the resistors are connected end to end so that they form only one path for the flow of current, that is known as series circuit. Let us analyze in the form of a circuit. Suppose this is a circuit. Having resistance R1, R2 and R3. So these are the resistance of the circuit and it is connected towards a battery terminal. V. So series circuit is a circuit in which all the terminals are connected to one end to another end. One end to this another end. So it is known as series circuit. So in series circuit, R equivalent or equivalent resistance is given by the summation of all the resistance connected in series, that is R1, R2 and R3. So it is the summation R equivalent equal to R1, R2 plus R3. So now let's discuss the key point about the series circuit. Same current flows through all part of the circuit. In series circuit, same current will flow, that is I current will flow through all part of the circuit. Means the current flow through R1 will be same, the current flowing through R2 will be the same, and the current flowing through R3 will be same. So the same current will be flow throughout the circuit. Now second point is applied voltage is equal to the sum of voltage drop across the different part of the circuit. Different resistors have their individual voltage drop. Now the voltage drop across the circuit is different. The voltage drop across this terminal V1, this is V2 and this is V3. So voltage drop across V1 equal to I up R1, voltage drop across V2 equal to I R2. In the similar manner, voltage drop across V3 equal to I R3. So you can see the voltage drop across the terminal is different. In series circuit, the voltage across the terminal is different, whereas the current is flow same. So this is a series circuit. Now we'll come towards parallel circuit. When a number of resistors are connected in such a way that one end of each of them is joined to a common point, that is referred to as a parallel circuit. Now a parallel circuit consists of only one common point. Now we'll draw a parallel circuit. This is a parallel circuit. Whose resistance is given by R1, R2 and R3 is connected across a voltage terminal, that is V. So in parallel circuit, the equivalent resistance is given by R equivalent is equal to 1 upon individual resistance, 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. 1 upon R3. So equivalent resistance is the reciprocal of individual resistance in parallel circuit. Now the current going through the parallel circuit is in each terminal. This one is I1, this one is I2, and this one is here I3. So the current going through each terminal is different. So from the key point, same voltage across all parts of the circuit, different resistor having their individual current. So from the key point, different current flows through the circuit. Different current will flow across the branches. As you have already seen, the current going through this branch is I1, this one I2, I3. So there will be a different current flowing through the circuit. Now the voltage drop or the voltage is same across the circuit. This one is also V, this one is also V, and this one is also V. So in parallel circuit the voltage is remain same, whereas the current would be different. So whereas in series circuit the current would remain same and voltage would be different. So this is the basic difference between series circuit and parallel circuit. Now we will come across voltage division rule. Voltage division rule. So voltage division rules state that, let us draw a circuit. This is having a resistance R1. This is having a resistance. This is having a resistance R1, and this is having a resistance R2. This circuit, and it is connected, is given a voltage source V, the voltage source is given by V, having positive and negative terminal. Now in voltage division rule, let's suppose the voltage across this one is V1 and the voltage across this terminal is V2. Now we have to, and the current flowing through the circuit is I. Now we have to calculate V1 by using voltage division rule. So V1 is calculated as V is the voltage that is coming from the source, multiply by R1, that is R1, in denominator the summation of both the resistance, that is R1 plus R2. This is the voltage across V1. Now in the similar manner we can calculate V2. V2 is given by the voltage V multiply by R2 and the summation of both R1 plus R2. So this rule is known as voltage division rule. So voltage division rule states that we can calculate the voltage of respected branch by multiplying the original voltage into that respected equivalent voltage upon summation of both the resistance. So it is known as voltage division rule. Now we'll come across current division rule. So current division rule is one of the most important topic. So what is a current division rule? We'll draw a circuit and then analyze it. Current division rule stated that the current flowing through a circuit is given by the following equations. So current division rule, let's say this branch has a resistance R1, and there is another branch having resistance R2, and there is a voltage given from the source V. Now there is a current flowing through the circuit that is given by I, and there is one current flowing through the circuit is known as I1, and there is also another current that is flowing through the circuit I2. Now current division rule, we have to calculate I1. What is the current flowing through I1? So I1 is given by, here I1 equal to total current I multiplied by the opposite branch, that is R2, and the summation of both the branches, that is R1 plus R2. Now similarly we can calculate I2, that is I2 is given by total current I multiplied by opposite branch, that is R1, upon summation of both the branches, that is R1 plus R2. So this way we can calculate I1 and I2. So this is the required equation for current division rule. Now voltage source transformation. We have to discuss what is voltage source transformation and what are these principles, how to convert a voltage source into current source, what are the basic methodology over this. So we have to discuss voltage source transformation. So let us draw a equivalent circuit so that you can easily understand it. So voltage transformation, let us suppose there is a circuit having 5 ampere current and it is connected in series with this 5 ohm resistance, and there is a terminal over A over here, and there is another terminal that is B. So what we have to discuss? So from voltage source transformation, this circuit can be represented as single equivalent circuit, that is this is called 25 volt, and this one is in series with 5 ohm resistor. So this is the point A and this is our point B. So from voltage source transformation, what we have done, this one is converted into a single equivalent circuit that is V is equal to IR. So I here is 5 ampere and resistance is 5. So this 5 are 25 volt. So that's why this 25 volt is arising over there, is connected in series with 5 ohm resistance. So in voltage source transformation, we convert a current source into a voltage source having an equivalent resistance in series with this circuit. So it is known as voltage source transformation. Now let us come together with current source transformation. What is current source transformation, or how we have to deal with this transformation? So current source transformation. So in current source transformation, let us discuss one circuit. This is a circuit having 50 volt, having 50 volt as voltage, and this is 30 ohm connected over here. This is A point and this is our B point. Now we have to change this transformation into current source transformation. So let us see how we can change it into the circuit. So this is changed as current is given by this symbol, an arrow, and that is 1.66 ampere in parallel with 30 ohm resistance. So in this, in parallel with a 30 ohm resistance, this is 30 ohm resistance. So this is our point A and this is our point B. So how we have calculated 1.66? Let us see here. V is equal to IR, I is equal to V by R. So here V is given by 50 volt, that is 50 divided by, that is 50 divided by this resistance, that is 30 ohm resistance. So this got multiplied and would come 1.66 ampere. So 1.66 ampere. So that's why this 1.66 ampere come over here, and it is in parallel with 30 ohm resistance. So in current source transformation, what we are doing, we are converting a voltage source into a current form in parallel with the circuit. So this is known as current source transformation. Now we will come again in a numerical analysis problem, how we can discuss. Let us start our numerical approach of the problem. Now the equivalent resistance between the point A and D. Now the equivalent resistance between point A and D, we have to calculate one numerical, that is, this is in form of this one, equivalent resistance between point A and D. Let us suppose this is resistance having 10 ohm. Again this is another resistance, and this is having another resistance. So these are three resistance having internal equivalent resistance at 10 ohm, 10 ohm and 10 ohm. This is connected with again connected with this. Here 10 ohm is there, here 10 ohm, 10 ohm, and here 10 ohm, and this is our 10 ohm, and this is our point A, this is our point B, this is our point C, and this is our point D. So we have to calculate the equivalent resistance from point A to D. So how we can calculate? Let us see the solution of this problem. Let us see how to calculate the equivalent resistance from point A to this particular point D. So let us suppose we have to calculate an equivalent resistance so that we can attain this particular point D in a minimum possible way. So how we can do this? Let's suppose the current is gone from here, current is gone from here, and then current would come here, and then current also would distribute here, and after distributing here, the current would again distribute this particular point and this particular point, and after this distribute here and here and then here. Now we have to find the equivalent resistance. So from the equivalent resistance, what we can draw that the current would not flow over here because it is open circuit terminal. So it would go from here, this terminal, and again this is open, so it would not be necessary to consider this one. So here and at last here. So these terminal we have not to consider because it is not beneficial, this one, and this one is also not beneficial. So the equivalent resistance while neglecting these two terminal would be like this. This is 10 ohm resistance, that is this one. Now it is going in parallel with these 10 ohm resistances. This is again 10 ohm, and this is 10 ohm, this is 10 ohm, this one is 10 ohm, and in series with 10 ohm. This is our point D, this is our point A. So we start from this point A, that is 10 ohm, 10 ohm, 10. Then again at this particular point we are going into two branches. Number one this one, number second this one. So when we go from this one, that is 10 ohm is in series with this 10 ohm. So this 10 ohm in series with this 10 ohm, and this 10 ohm is in series with this 10 ohm, and these are in series with this 10 ohm, and it is again in series with this particular 10 ohm, that is 10 ohm. So the equivalent resistance is drawn in this form. Now the equivalent resistance is given by R equivalent. Here we go 10 ohm. These are this one, and this one is again 20 ohm, 10 plus 10, 20 ohm. This is in parallel with this 20 ohm, and this is again in series with this 10 ohm. Now if you calculate it, 10 plus 20 parallel in 20, we multiply 20 parallel in 20, 20 multiplied by 20, 20 plus 20, that is 40, plus 10. Now you calculate it, 10 plus this one goes out, 2 1 is 2, 2 2 is 4, 2 10 is 20. So 10 plus 10 plus 10, 10 plus 10 plus 10, that is 30 ohm. So it is our answer. So the equivalent resistance between point A to point D is 30 ohm. So that's why we calculate such type of circuit. We have to draw a minimum possible way to reach D without being considering the unimportant one. Now let us come with another problem. Find the equivalent capacitance of a circuit. Now the circuit is like this. This is our circuit is like this. This is our C1 circuit, and another circuit is C, and it is connected to a terminal B, and it is again A, and then it is again connected to one other terminal, that is C, and then it is another connected to this terminal, that is C. Now we have to calculate the equivalent resistance between point A and B. We have to calculate the equivalent resistance between point A and B. So how can we calculate the equivalent resistance across point A and B? We have to calculate the equivalent resistance from point A to point B. Now we'll consider here the capacitance of each capacitor is given by 3 microfarad. Now we'll consider this this is 3 microfarad, this one is again 3 microfarad, and this one is again 3 microfarad, and this one is also 3 microfarad. What is the equivalent capacitance? We have to calculate it. Now in parallel we add capacitors, but in series we parallel it, so it is opposite of resistance. So capacitor behave opposite of resistance. In series we will parallel it, or in parallel we will add it, so it is opposite of resistor. So here this 3 ohm, this 3 ohm. So how we can calculate it? This one and this one is in parallel. So in parallel we consider it's one equivalent block, that is this one goes like this, C, and this one is again C dash, and this one is C. This one is our A, C or C. What we have C dash is this equivalent block we have considered as C dash. So this is C dash. So C dash arises. C dash, what is the value of C dash? C dash is 3 plus 3, that is 6 microfarad. Because they are in parallel we add it. It's just opposite of series circuit. And this C is 3 microfarad, and this one again is 3 microfarad. Now again equivalent circuit is this 3 and this 6. Good. This is again C double dash, and this one is your C. So C double dash value and C double dash is equal to this one, and this one we have considered as C double dash. So C double dash equal to, these will be multiplied. So 3 multiplied by 6 and 6 plus 3. So C double dash equal to 18 divided by 9. 9 2 is 18. So C double dash is equal to 2, and C is again given by 3 microfarad. This is 2 microfarad. So C equivalent equal to this 2 microfarad is added in 3 microfarad. So 2 plus this 3 is equal to 5 microfarad. So this is our required answer for this particular problem. So this is our required answer for this particular problem. In this way we can calculate in equivalent circuit in parallel and in series resistance. Thank you very much. I hope you would found it useful. Remember, you can always learn a lot more about network analysis in my next video. For more queries, please like and subscribe it, and good luck and thank you very much for listening. Thank you.